Okay, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make this video for people who have never even started trading or just starting out trading, and I want this to help you guys understand how trading works. And I gotta think like a very, very beginner, like when I first started or even heard about trading. Okay, so let's start with this. Trading is a way to, create opportunity for yourself financially, right? If you buy a stock at $2 and sell it at $3, you're gonna have $1 a share profit or 50% gain. So if you have $100 that you put into a stock and you bought it at let's say $2 and then you sold it at $3, you now have a $50 net profit. Now you have to pay taxes on that. I'm not a CPA or a financial advisor, so I'm not gonna go into any of that at all. But what I will say is that by the end of the year, it's just like you have to make sure you're aware and talk to a CPA about how taxes work with long-term and short-term trading. But here's the thing, guys, okay? When you trade stocks, right, and what do I mean by trading? Well, when you buy and sell a security, you're putting yourself at risk for any kind of opportunity or any kind of down or upside in the markets. So you always have to know that, when you're putting your money on the line and when you actually get into a security, whether it's Amazon or let's say a mid-cap like BYND or a penny stock like AAME or BSQR, you have to know generally with small caps, with penny stocks, they're going to move faster. It's almost like options. Options, they move fast. In mid caps, they're going to move a little slower. And in large caps, if you have $100, you're generally not going to make a lot of money. That's just the way it's going to go because percentage-wise, penny stocks and small caps are the ones that will have the most volatile moves up and down, right? So, but that being said, guys, when you start trading, obviously you're looking for an opportunity to either find either a hobby or maybe it's a secondary income. Maybe you want to do this part-time or maybe you want to do it full-time. But whatever the case, you have to have a base of foundation to learn about how you're going to start trading and what even starting trading means, okay? So when I started trading, I had no clue, what a brokerage was, how do I even make any money? How do I do any of this? So I'm going to try and explain this as best as I can, and I have to think in terms of when you first start out trading, which I'm going to struggle with, but I'll do my best, okay? So here we go. So when you first start trading, you have to find a brokerage. If you want to put money into the market, I would recommend Webull. I'll put the link in the description. They're a great first brokerage. They're a newer brokerage. You actually get free stock as well. And with the link, using my link, I actually get free stock as well, or some type of commission. So you have to know that. But you can use TradeZero as well. TradeZero is another great brokerage. I'll try and link that as well. Also like another good brokerage. I haven't used them, but I heard Interactive Brokers is good. But my favorites that I have used is Webull, and my favorite is TradeZero. Those two are very good. Now, Webull is free commission all over the board. TradeZero has commission. And when you buy and sell a stock, commission means if you buy Apple, you might be charged, let's say, for every share of Apple you buy, it might be like, I don't know, 0.25% that you pay off the top of your initial investment, right? So you have to always look into that. And when you're trading with brokerages, you have to see, is there commission, is there not commission? And, most brokerages these days don't have commission. So just so you know. You could start paper trading as well. I've never been a firm believer in paper trading just because emotions are so much different when you're paper trading. Paper trading is a good way to maybe start just to get an understanding of how things move up and down. But generally, you're not going to want to be paper trading because your emotions and psychologically, it's just so much different when you actually have real money on the line. So even if it's $1, $5, $10, emotionally, you have some skin in the game and you kind of feel what it's like to actually be in a stock and watch it go up and down and see how your emotions react to things going up and down. That's how you in order to make money in stocks, you have to have a brokerage, right? And you can use whatever brokerage. There's tons of brokerages. Robinhood just had a huge problem. I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. There's TD, there's E-Trade, all sorts, Schwab. They go on. And you can just type in top brokerages and make your decision on what you want to do. Webull and TradeZero ones that I've used and I've liked. But there's plenty of other options out there for you if you want to end up, using that. So when you start trading, there's that. Now, I also recommend, with charts, I like to trade off technicals and volume and level 2 and time and sales. And I won't necessarily go too deep into that, but what I will say is Thinkorswim is the charts that I would recommend. I don't necessarily love their trading platform, but their charts to me is just what I've been used to and what I've lived on and what I've grown with. And that's just where I feel more comfortable is using Thinkorswim's chart. So you can type that in, Thinkorswim. Okay, and you can download them. And I don't think you have to fund them with anything. I think you can just download them. Make sure you have the live charts, not the 15-minute delayed charts. And the charts just help me with, seeing where stocks are going up and down and getting a clear vision of support and resistance. And I'm not going to go too much into that either. I just want to give you guys an understanding of what I would think when you're first starting out trading. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, okay, I know I need a brokerage. I know I need to fund it if I have any opportunity in making or losing money in the stock market. And paper trading, I know, is something that you could do that doesn't have any risk and doesn't involve any of your capital. It gives you a concept of how things kind of work and could be a good starter for you if you'd like. It's something that I kind of wish that I didn't necessarily do as much, but maybe just a little. I kind of think that, talking to myself back then, I would say, maybe just a month of it, just kind of getting an understanding. But putting at least $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever you're capable of losing or whatever, it's all relative to what you're able to risk. What I always say, what I would tell myself, if I could go back and tell myself this, when I first started trading, I'd tell myself what I wish I would have done is I wish that I would have traded with the amount that I could easily lose 5 or 10 times over and still financially not feel it. But I made the mistake of losing half my net worth, and it has ups and downs. I know it sounds crazy, but when you lose that much money, it also helps you out in the long run. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm able to handle more risk. I'm able to just kind of hold trades longer because I know what it's like to be down. I know what it's like to lose a decent amount of money of your net worth. But yeah, so when you first start trading, you have to figure out what brokerages. So Thinkorswim for charting is what I use. Charts are just a way to see what stocks are going up and what going down. And the candlesticks and all that stuff, you can learn that over time. But I just want to go over the very basics. Now, Finviz is a great place whether you have a paper trading platform or whether you have a brokerage. And you guys might ask where there's paper trading. I truthfully don't really know what brokerages have paper trading. I think Thinkorswim might. Look at TradeZero, look at Webull, they might as well. I haven't used paper trading in so long, I really have no idea, but you can look at brokerages who might have paper trading if you're interested in not having any risk in the market at all. Finviz is a great secondary spot to just kind of get an understanding of how these things move. You can get premium if you want. I'll try and link that in the bio as well. But you can go through and look at all these stocks, and these were the big movers, on Friday. 61%, 117%, 68%, and here's the volume, top gainers, which means these are the stocks that ran the most percentage-wise in the entire stock market, right? And these are the stocks that lost the most. AACG lost 55% in one day. Okay, so if you're shorting these stocks, and I won't go too much into shorting because that's not really for beginners, but if you're making money if you're shorting, you're making money if you're longing, especially if you bought it at the open and then sold it, midday. And this one, I have no idea. You could short at the open and close it out midday. I made money long and short, but I'm not going to go into that. I don't want you guys to get confused with that. But great place to kind of look at stocks and how things are moving throughout the day. You can kind of click and see, a lot about market cap and income and sales. And I don't really go a lot into this. I'm more of a technical and volume and momentum and kind of a trend trader, meaning what sectors are hot, where's the money flowing, rather than giving any care about the market. I mean, I look at the market cap sometimes, but looking at sales and all that kind of stuff, I'm not a long-term investor usually. I mean, I have a long-term account, but when I'm trading, generally I just trade momentum, trade time and sales, trade level 2, trade volume, trade trend, and things like that. So ZOM made a nice move as well. This is a great place to kind of look at charts. You can actually go in and kind of screen what stocks you want to look at. Do you want to look at certain stocks that have big market caps? When they're this big a market cap, you're generally not going to see the stock go up more than 5% in a day. If it's a micro cap, you might see the stock go 1,000%. The bigger the market cap, generally the harder the stock is to move a higher percentage. So if it's this, you might gain 5% in one day. If it's this, you might see 1,000%. If you're in here, you might see 100%, generally. Now, it's not always the case, but that's what I've learned over the years. You can look at different exchanges, earnings dates. You got to be careful if you're in a stock and you're in it overnight and it's an earnings date. You could lose or make money, but it's very, very risky. Sectors, certain sectors are hot, like the healthcare industry. I might just click here and look at the healthcare industry and see, okay, what stocks are hot. Float short, like GameStop obviously was a huge, huge shorted company, and then they got squeezed out, and that's another thing you can look at there. The industry they're in, biotechnology, are they in medical, are they in, it seems like a lot of pharmaceutical. So it's all health, actually. Why is it doing that? I don't know. You can do custom, but you need to have it. But anyways, what country as well, option short, and the price that the stock is actually at. So that's a great place to kind of start, okay? Now, once you have a brokerage and once you have, an idea of what to scan for or what you're looking at or what the charts look like, and I hope I'm doing a good idea. Maybe you're confused. I hope you're not, but I'm doing my best to try and put myself in my old shoes and understand what it was like to be a first-time trader, okay? So now, we can look at, what free study materials there are, okay? So my YouTube channel is a great place. I recap my trades every single day, mainly. I mean, almost every day. I might miss a couple days. I missed one day because I just got a house and I'm working on that, and I'm remodeling things. But, you can go back and look at all my recaps over the years, guys. It goes back to my very, very beginning, Guys, this is when it's just insane to go back to this. But this is when I first started trading. Okay, and it's pretty evident. You can see kind of how bad my audio is. And over the years, as I did better and better, I always upgrade my platform and I upgrade my streaming software. And when I move out of my place, my new place, I'm probably going to upgrade my software even more. But here's the thing, okay? You can just go back and look at every one of my videos and just see how I trade stocks every single day and how I evolved over the years. And if you're really motivated and, you can't afford my course or other people's course, then, then just go through all my YouTube videos, and it's going to take you months and months and months because it's so much content, but you will start to learn how I trade and how I evolved over the years. And you will get an understanding of what has worked for me over the years and, watch it over and over and over and just create, at the end of the day, you're going to have to create your own process, your own plan, your own strategy that works for you, because even though it works for me, you still have to see what works for you in the end. And that is what it is, guys. It's one of those things that you have to realize, over time, it doesn't matter how other people trade. It matters what works for you and how, you have kind of, built your own plan, your process, your strategy. Now, at the end of the day, you might end up, having issues and not being able to trade your proper plan, your process, and your strategy. But the thing is I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I got a little distracted. But, you have to make sure you have your own plan, your process, and your strategy. And, I'm just telling you what's worked for me is I've just gone on YouTube and just found successful traders and studied them into the ground, And I'm only one person. There's a lot of other people you can learn from. So, go through all my YouTube videos and then go on YouTube and then type in, how to learn how to day trade or how to learn how to swing trade. And there's tons and tons of people out there that you can learn from. And, I've bought in courses, and that's another thing. I have a course as well that you can look at, and it's obviously much more condensed. I've heard a lot of good things about my course, and there's been a couple of, negative reviews as well. But that's always the case whether you're, anything in life, right? You're going to have negative reviews and positive reviews. But generally, it sounds like a lot of people have really, really learned from my YouTube and from my course to get a real understanding of how my strategies and how my thought process and how my thesis works on trades long and short. And I've only been shorting recently, but getting an understanding of both sides and, just studying. And I always say study. And what do I mean by study? Well, this is what I'm telling you. Now that if you have a brokerage and now that you know where to kind of look at stocks and you have thinkorswim for your charts, now you can go through my YouTube videos and just study them into the ground. And I know they're long. They're 16, they're 30, they're 40 minutes, but it's really how motivated you are. If you want to succeed and you really want to trade and be successful, then you're going to have to put the time in. There's no shortcuts in this world when it comes to trading. If you want to get rich quick, guys, trust me, I'll be the first one to admit it never worked for me. I had to put the time in. I had to put the effort in. I always, still to this day, am studying other people. Now, I've always evolved in who I study from, and I've continuously learned from more and more people around me, and I always have to learn from new people because as I continue to get better, I continue to have to upgrade my strategies. But, learning, good places to learn from. Okay, YouTube, watch front to back. Go on my, you can look at my course if you can afford it. Great if you can. I have tons and tons of free content. Here's my course as well. So, you can check that out as well. I realize it's expensive, but I charge for reasons, and they consist of this. And I'm not going to go too much into detail because I don't really have time. But I charge because, first off, when you're a trader, you're paying for something, and whether it be organic or non-organic, or whether it be a nicer golf club or not a nice golf club, or whether it be, a book that you really like, but it's more expensive, or whether it be, you're building a piece of property that you look at like $1 million property, but you really want the $3 million property, and obviously probably the $3 million one's nicer. You just have to understand and think and say, hey, is it worth it or is it not? And if it's not worth it to you, then, there's no reason to even kind of purchase this. You have to think long and hard. Is this worth it for me? And if it's not, go through and look. Go through and look through the testimonials. And I have tons and tons of students talk about it. Some of them like it, some of them don't. And they explain kind of what they got out of it and what they didn't. And just recently, which made my day, obviously, somebody just posted this in the testimonials, and I don't know why I can't find it, but where is it? Okay, he goes, I started getting into stocks last March thinking, man, this has to be a no-brainer. Anyone can make money. Yeah, well, that wasn't as easy as I thought. So December 1st, I bought Cam's course. It's tough to scrounge up the money, and I haven't had the most successful life, but I wanted to thank Cam for his course, and I posted a 3-month snapshot of how far I've made it. God bless all of you that are in these chat groups. The advice and the knowledge and the shares are blessings. So he's made $82,000, 510% on his account. That literally, that makes my day. That's why I started Normal Trading. The reason why, I started NormalTrading.com and why I have my course and why I have my YouTube and why I have all the other things that I'll cover is to give you guys a foundation, a knowledge base, and kind of grow your guys' base to just either get started trading or maybe think about trading. Or maybe you're already trading and you're sitting here and you're like, this isn't working for me. And the reality is 90% of traders fail. So, I don't want to make this video too long. But 90% of traders fail. And I'm probably one of the 0.001% that are doing what I'm doing. But you also don't get to see the hard work and the studying that I've put in and the time and the effort. I've looked through so many different people's YouTubes. I've learned from so many different traders out there. I've bought multiple courses. The reason to my success, no question, and what's worked for me is never stop learning, never stop evolving, and continuously learn from other people. And that's exactly what I'm preaching to you guys because it's worked for me. Now, it might not work for you. It might not work for everyone. And obviously 90% of people fail. But I'm trying to have the NormalTrading.com community be part of that 10%. And that's my goal, is to get more and more people to have that success and to have a realization that this is possible for anyone. That's why I created my course. That's why I have my YouTube streams for free every day to go over my trades, so you can learn from my trades. That's why I have my free chat room and the free educational content in there, is to build your guys' knowledge and to build you guys' foundation to hopefully get you guys kick-started and hopefully and create successful students. At the end of the day, it only creates more opportunity for me if I have successful students. If I have students that aren't doing well, then it doesn't help me at all. So it's in my best interest to have my students do well. And not only that, though, guys, if you knew me personally, I definitely, take, what I'm teaching and what I'm, giving out into you guys and giving you guys some learning foundation very, very seriously, And at the end of the day, people who pay for something, they think about it long and hard, and they don't just throw their money at something and say, hey, I just want, to get better. They think about it long and hard. They're like, is it worth it? Is it not? And you have to make that decision. Is it worth it? Is it not? And I've also realized that having tons and tons of free content out there in the years past, people just scroll over it. They're like, I can get to that tomorrow. I can get to that tomorrow. I can get to that tomorrow. And it never happens, right? And thirdly, it shows yourself that you're trying to take this to the next level. If you're going to put a couple $1,000 into a course, I know when I was paying for my courses over the years, when I was spending money and I didn't have any money, I was very, very like no plan B. This is what I want, and I'm gonna soak up everything and watch this over and over and over again. And I learned so much throughout multiple courses and throughout multiple YouTube videos, throughout tons and tons of different traders out there. And I just, till this day, continue to soak up knowledge and continue to soak up other people's strategies and processes and what people can handle emotionally and what I can't handle, and continue to learn from that. And that's why I have this as well. Another great foundation, another great, if you can't afford that, which you might not be able to, I know it's pretty expensive. I do offer sales as well. I have tons of free content in my educational rooms, resources, chart patterns, daily chart patterns, ebooks, flashcards, educational videos, EDA links. Make sure to go through these study plans, former runners, homework. There's a ton of content you can learn from in here, guys. Literally, there is so much content. There's no excuse. You can learn from every single one of these rooms, and it just doesn't stop. And they're all for you guys to learn from. Again, to create a foundation, create a knowledge base. And the reason why I have a chat room is to be surrounded by like-minded people. My top students are Jordan, Ariel, and Diego, and Trader 9 to 5, he's been crushing it as well. He's a mod in the room. He's definitely someone who helps people understand and give a full understanding of what he's trading and why he's trading it and things like that. We have tons of mods that I try and create that create good value and good content throughout the day to give you guys an understanding and a good knowledge base and to be surrounded by like-minded people. I could have never been where I'm at without chat rooms, without social media, because guys, if you have thousands of people spotting things out for you every day, and the ones that are doing it successfully as well, and giving you a clear understanding of why they're looking at this with a full explanation, a full analysis, and then saying, hey, this has good opportunity. Nothing is ever 100%. I've never been able to trade without chat rooms. I will always be studying from other chat rooms, people calling things out, people see things differently than I do, but I always learn from it. And at the end of this video, hopefully you guys got a ton of stuff to learn from. Things, and I get a lot of questions, what do I study from? Well, if you can't afford my course, go through all of this free education, guys. It's got so many hours and hours and hours of content. Go through my YouTube, Can the Man. I already showed that. Go through every one of my videos. Go on YouTube and type in how to learn to day trade, how to learn how to swing trade, how to learn to long-term invest. There's so much content out there, it's insane. There's no excuse. If you want to take advantage of my course, go for it. If you think it's worth it, then that's great. If you don't, then that's completely understandable. If you want to hear a lot about people who have gotten it, then go through the testimonials. Also, guys, there's a free brokerage. It's Webull. Check that out. I have all the different trading floors, options, small caps room. That's where I spend most of my time, the small caps, even though I trade mid caps and large caps now. I don't trade I still trade small caps for sure, especially the liquidity these days, but biopharmaceuticals, there's just tons of rooms in the chat room, guys. So hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully you got a lot of things to study from. Study. I always, you guys, I always say study. Continue to learn, continue to build your knowledge, continue to build your foundation, and just come back every day stronger and stronger and stronger. So hopefully that gave you guys an understanding of kind of what to learn from, how to learn, how to get started. And, Finviz is a great place to research stocks. And I hope that helps you guys. And I hope that I covered most things. That way it's out there for you guys to get an understanding of, what I've used to help me. So I will see you guys on Monday. Okay, it is the weekend, but I want to do this video for you guys. So I appreciate you guys. Cheers, team, and go Hawks.